Hi, folks. Welcome to the Ferrum College Athletics Department, ferrumpanthers.com Coaches Show. I'm your host, Gary Holden. Dave Newcomb could not be here today. He's with his family up in Pennsylvania. We want to give a shout out to Dave. Hope everything's okay up there. Our guest this morning is Brian Harvey, women's basketball coach. Brian, congratulations. You guys had a great season so far.
Thank you, Gary. Thanks for having me.
Conference tournament win last weekend at home. How exciting was that whole atmosphere for the team?
Oh, it was great. A great regular season, and one of the perks of having a great regular season was we got to host the tournament at home, and we did it a couple of years ago, and we're able to win a couple of years ago. It's just great playing in front of your home fans, parents, family, other athletes, faculty and staff. It's just great to play at home.
3 straight games, sellout crowd. The place was packed for all the Ferrum games. I mean, obviously there were some other games. You had 4 quarterfinal games on Thursday, 2 semifinals Friday, and then the championship. It's great to have the host school in it all the way up to the end. It really, filled the place up.
It did, and the community's really supported as well. Spring break for students really were here on Thursday night, and some of them stayed on Friday night, but Saturday, with the students being gone, a little bit worried about what type of crowd we had, and we still had a great crowd. The community really comes out and supports us well.
Well, Brian, I think that part of that's got to be from the fact that you guys have so many of your players. I think it's 9 of your players are all Timesland areas, right from the Roanoke Times area, readership area, and it seems like you've had really good luck with getting kids in from the local areas, and that's got to help with your fan support too.
Well, it does, and when I got here 9 years ago, that was, I'm from the area, so a lot of my contacts are from the area, but I also felt like there's just good basketball in the Timesland area, and
Sure.
It's been a goal of ours to keep the local kids close to home, and I think that's good for us. We get good fan support. Just community members from their own local communities continue to come out and support them, and it's just been good for us.
Well, 3 of your local players made the all-tournament team. You had Katie Kipps out of Blacksburg High School. She's a senior this year. She was on the all-tournament team. You've got a junior in Jacole Hairston out of Magna Vista High School. She made the all-tournament team. And then Shay Smith, right out of Franklin County here, she made the all-tournament team and was your MVP of the tournament. Talk a little bit about their roles in the tournament.
Well, all 3 of them have had great years. All year long they've had great years, and each night someone different steps up. But tournament time, we needed everybody to play well, and I felt like all 3 of them played well. Every night. All 3 played well on Thursday night, came back on Friday night, and I thought Shay and Jacole really played well. Katie probably didn't have her best game on Friday night, but just like she's done all year long, she turned around on Saturday and led us in scoring on Saturday, and I think she missed 1 shot all day on Saturday. So, just all 3 of them have had great careers, great seasons, and I think they were really keyed up and excited to play at home, and it's nice to see them play well in front of their home fans.
2 of the last 3 years, Brian, you guys have hosted the conference tournament, got to cut the nets down. It seems like a nice tradition to start here at Ferrum. We're excited about seeing that. How important was that for the seniors to be able to do that at home, their final time, hosting a conference tournament?
Well, they set some goals at the beginning of the year, and it was the 3rd straight year that we made it to the NCAA tournament, and 3 years ago we tied for the regular season championship, and then we were able to host at home and we won the conference tournament, and then last year we tied for the regular season championship when we lost in the tournament finals. I think this group kind of wanted to separate themselves from the other groups, and they won the regular season outright this year, and to be able to win the conference tournament, I think that was their goal, to kind of separate themselves from the last 2 years' teams, and I think they were able to do it with those 2 things.
Well, Brian, you guys have been just killing the record books and everything. I know that 2 years ago, or a couple of years ago before that, you guys had 21-7 seasons. Those were new school records for us. Then 2 years ago, you set a new school record with 23 wins. Bumped it up last year to 24 wins, another school record right there. And then you've already set a school record this year with 26 wins. Talk a little bit about what the new generation of basketball here has done for the school, and what your thoughts have been going into each season with knowing that, okay, we did this and everything, we want to set the bar even higher.
Well, it goes back to, I guess, when I got here 9 years ago. We had great players, Shanita, Quinita Bennett, Aileen Alzheimer, and I can go on and on. Tanya Wright, Miranda Carrasco, Ashley Norton, Caprice, Allie Davenport, and I don't want to forget any of them. There was a bunch of great players over the years,
Sure.
But, they really bought into what we were trying to do. 8 or 9 years ago, and they kind of set the standard for all the groups that have come behind them, and we've just kind of built on that. And we talk about that a lot. We talk about the things that the players before us have done, and not trying to let that group down, and continuing to build on the things that they have done. And every year before we play the championship game, if we make it to the championship game, I'll send a text to all my former players, just thanking them for all that they've done, and setting the bar at a certain level. And then, the current teams, we're always trying to see if we can't raise that bar. And it's, it's kind of built on itself. And I don't think
Sure.
any group wants to let the other group down. And,
Sure.
those players continue to text us on game day. A bunch of them are going to try to get here this weekend to watch us play. So it's just kind of been kind of a community thing within the program, that they really care about each other and want to do well for each other, and that's kind of important.
There's great support. I noticed on a lot of the social media sites, a lot of our alumni are sending out tweets and everything, and sending text messages saying, hey, come to the game and everything. Last week, and I know I saw at least 2 of your alumni, Miranda Carrasco and Caprice Laws, I think were there. Probably were some more, but those are the 2 that I actually got to see. And I know a lot more of them are probably going to make the effort to get down to Ferrum this weekend.
They are, and we love when they come back. Miranda and Caprice were here, I think, on Thursday night. Tanya and Ashley were here on Saturday, and I think several of them are going to try to make the trip this week. And it means a lot to our current players that they still are connected to the program, that they care. And I think it means a lot to our former players that the younger players really think about them this time of year, and what they've done for our program over the years.
Sure. Let's talk a little bit about the NCAA tournament. You've got coming up here, it is a 4-team regional here at Ferrum. You've got Capital University out of Ohio, very strong program, comes out of a strong Ohio athletic conference. You've got Christopher Newport University, our old friends, used to be in the USA South, but now they're in their first year in the Capital Athletic Conference. And then you've got Eastern Mennonite University out of the Old Dominion Athletic Conference. All 3 are teams that are very good teams. 2 of the 3 we've played before, Eastern Mennonite and Christopher Newport. Talk a little bit about, say, for example, your first game. You've got Capital coming tomorrow night. Talk a little bit about what your thoughts are there.
Watching them on film, they're very, very good. You think as a 1 seed you're going to get a 4 seed, and if you get a 4 seed, you should probably win that game. But you watch them on film, and they might be the most talented group of the 4 of us.
They've got the size. I saw they had 8 players that are 5'10" or over.
Yeah, they're long, they're lanky. They play in a conference that's very good. 4 teams from their conference made the NCAA tournament,
Which is impressive in itself.
Yeah, that's almost unheard of. And they won their conference tournament, won the finals by about 17 or 18 points. Probably playing the best of any of the teams in their conference for the last month and a half of the season. So, we got our work cut out for us.
Sure.
Very, very good. And then, like you said, CNU's tradition speaks for itself. Made it to the Final Four a few years ago. Made it to the Elite Eight last year.
Been in the NCAA playoffs like 16 times or something like that. So.
And I think Eastern Mennonite's very similar to us in the fact that, the last several years, their program has just gotten better and better. Kevin Griffin's done a great job with their program. He's done a great job recruiting. Their facilities are second to none, and they're just continue to get better and better. So it's a tough regional, but at this point in time, it's 64 best teams in the country, or at least in theory, it's the 64 best teams in the country, and you're gonna have to play well every night. That's for sure.
Well, the USA Today WBCA poll has you guys at 16. The D3Hoops.com poll has you guys at 16. I know that a couple of the teams that are in the regional are ranked as well. Christopher Newport is in there somewhere. Capital is receiving votes somewhere on that poll. So obviously we've got some strong teams that are coming in here. And at this point in time, everyone's hungry. They're ready to chalk themselves up a win at the NCAA tournament.
They are, and like you said, the rankings. The rankings are the rankings, but in just an example, like you said, CNU's ranked 20th. I think we're ranked 16th. Eastern Mennonite's probably receiving some votes, but if you look at there's a little thing out there called the Massey ratings or the Bennett rankings, and they look at strength of schedule and
Sure.
who teams have played, and Capital's got the highest of the Bennett rankings and the Massey rankings of any of the 4 teams. So all 4 teams are solid. We're playing at home, so hopefully that'll give us a little bit of an advantage. And it just comes down to who plays well, who executes, who's toughest the longest, and
Sure.
hopefully our kids will be up for the task.
Stay out of foul trouble, catch a few breaks here and there, have a few balls go off opponents out of bounds.
It takes a lot. At this point, it takes a lot, but we're excited. We're excited about the opportunity. We're excited that we're playing at home, and we're going to go out and do the very best that we can do. That's for sure.
I saw where you guys have played four games against teams that made the 64-team field. You guys have got a win over Eastern Mennonite at home this year. Then you had a very big win, double overtime over Rhodes College down in Memphis. And then you have two wins over Maryville, who is in our league, that got in as an at-large team as well. Beat them down there at their place by a lot, and then beat them by about 12, 14 points here in the USA South title game. Do you feel as though your schedule that you've played this year has really prepared you guys for this level?
Well, I think, once again, kind of when I got here, one of the things that I wanted to do was go out and play some of the very best teams in the country.
You've done that for sure.
We have. Center is very good. I mean, we played Center over the years. Has always been a very good program. But this year we played Rhodes on the road. Rhodes is in the tournament. They're hosting at home this weekend as well. Yep. Eastern Mennonite. This is the second straight year they've made it, and probably if not the best team, one of the best teams in the ODAC. So we felt like we've challenged ourselves. Maryville's been to the tournament 4 straight years now, so we played them twice this year. So I definitely feel like we've tested ourselves. And the whole point of that is to be able to prepare yourself for this time of year. I think you can go out and you can schedule wins if that's what you want to do, or you can go out and schedule teams that are going to prepare you come tournament time, and we try to schedule teams that prepare us come tournament time.
Well, I've been here at Ferrum. I've been in Virginia for 23 years, Ferrum for 22 years, and it just seems as though the women's basketball schedule continues to pick up tougher and tougher teams over the years. So I know that there's some great teams that we've played, and a couple of great wins this year. Last couple of years, I had some great regular season wins, and beating Christopher Newport a couple times the last couple of years. That's really big right there. We beat them in the championship game 2 years ago, the USA South tournament, by a lot, and that had to be one of the crowning moments for you.
Well, Christopher Newport for the longest time, Christopher Newport and Greensburg College, they were kind of the class of the USA South for years, and we wanted to be in that conversation. And we added Maryville, who has really made our league better, and we just want to be in that conversation. Year in and year out. If I think it's easy if you have great players to be good for a year or two, but to be able to be good consistently, it means you have a good program, and that was kind of our goal. Is we want to have a good program. We want to have a program that year in year out has a chance to compete for championships. That doesn't mean we're going to win it every year, but we want to be in the mix. We want to be in the conversation every year.
Well, I think you've been in the conversation the last couple of years, Brian. No doubt about it. Preseason polls have come out. You've been at the top of the league, end of the year, conference regular season champions, and then conference tournament champions. I think you guys have definitely succeeded in that venture right there. So I want to wish you well this weekend. A quick recap before we sign off. 5 o'clock Friday, March 7th, Eastern Mennonite versus Christopher Newport. Both teams are 22-5. 7 o'clock, Ferrum versus Capital. The winners of those two games will play Saturday night at 7 p.m. These are all taking place at Sports Gym here at Ferrum College. So fans, if you're in the area and you want to see some great college women's basketball, please make your way down Route 40 to Ferrum College this weekend, and you should see some great basketball. Ticket prices are $3 for all students, college students with a valid ID, and $6 for general admission. So we hope to see everybody at the gym and pack the place and wear your black and gold place. So Brian, I want to wish you well this weekend, and in about a week or so, hopefully we'll be having another conversation with you about where you're playing next week.
Thanks, Gary. Thanks for having me. And I mentioned some of our former players, and obviously don't want to leave anybody out. Hope that I don't. Just a little shout out to Tesla Akers and Kristen Keith. They've reached out to me on social media this week wishing us luck, and I just hope that we get as many of the alumni back as possible. I'd love for them to be here and be a part of this week, and just hope the fans will come out and support us, because I think it'll be a lot of good basketball this weekend.
Great. Well, thanks for being on the show, Brian, and good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
All right, folks, that's the end of our show today. We'll be back next week with Ryan Brittle, our baseball coach, and he'll have one of his players with us. Until next week, I'm Gary Holden. For Brian Harvey, thanks for being with us, and have a great day.